Citizens are allowed to join the Citizens Police Academy, which is a 9-week program.
The grand finale, if you will, is TAC team night, where we actually get to go out to the academy and see a full demonstration of our TAC team.
Hello, I'm Officer Dave Northway, the Public Information Officer for the Tallahassee Police Department. I want to welcome you to this episode of City Law, City Justice, the show where we talk about everything and anything that has to do with TPD. Today, we welcome representatives from the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, one of the many community organizations TPD partners with. Joining me now are Officer Tracy Clark and Dave Pienta. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So if we could start off the show with kind of explaining what your role is with the Citizens Police Academy and the Alumni Association.
I am an officer with Tallahassee Police Department that is a liaison for the Tallahassee Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. You citizens are allowed to join the Citizens Police Academy, which is a 9-week program. We show them all aspects of what we do as officers on a day-to-day basis. And once they have successfully graduated from the Citizens Police Academy, then they're allowed to join the Tallahassee Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. What we do with that is we schedule extra training. Like one of the classes we do for the Citizens Police Academy is a taser class. They get fully educated on the workings of the taser, everything that goes along with what you can imagine involves a taser. Then the Alumni Association, we have a follow-up training date of taser, and the chief actually allowed those people to be tased.
Excellent, I think. And Dave, what is your role then with the Police Academy, Citizens Police Academy, and the Alumni Association? Were you at one time a member of the Citizens Police Academy? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, Dave, I went through probably about 2 years ago now, and it actually had enough fun that I actually went through and did the full real academy out at Pat Thomas. Had a great time with learning from TPD and getting to see everything that they do between the TAC team, dogs, like Tracy said, taser, traffic unit, a lot to see and do, and a lot of things you don't see behind the scenes when you're a citizen on the street.
Okay. And Tracy, your role with the department then is to be the liaison, and what does that entail? What do you have to do in that job?
For the Citizens Police Academy, I actually schedule the classes. I set up the instructors, which are all TPD officers that teach the citizens what we do. We do some demonstration stuff, we do some hands-on stuff. And for the Alumni Association, I'm their liaison. Anything that they need within the department, they contact me. We have meetings, we do a police ball every year. I'm the liaison for them to help them coordinate that. The Alumni Association does a lot of funding for programs within the police department, and I'm actually the liaison for them that's inside the department. That's a communications for them. So
you're a contact for them to be able to kind of work through anything that would come up.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. And Dave, you said you went through about 2 years ago now. Can you kind of walk us through what the classes were, how they went? How does that all work out? Do you just show up on a Monday, or how does that work?
Like Tracy said, it's 9 weeks, and it's once a week, about 3 or 4 hours, depending on what's being taught. And the first night, you get introduced to how TPD is structured, you know, how their organization is, how many divisions we have, what those divisions do, how many patrol zones we have, how many officers are working those patrol zones. And then you go start getting introduced to different units as classes go. So we get, you know, one night on traffic and how they run traffic, and one night on our canine unit, and actually get to go out and see a dog being handled and how it's taught and how it responds to certain situations. The grand finale, if you will, is TAC team night, where we actually get to go out to the academy and see a full demonstration of our TAC team, which is always a lot of fun. Actually get to shoot weapons that the TAC team uses, and see all the robots and how they manage to use those robots in situations. And I don't want to give away the grand finale of TAC team night. I think that should be reserved for people to come out and actually do it with us.
Okay, great. That sounds like quite a good time, actually. And Tracy, do you find that you have a lot of people signing up for the class? Are you turning people away? Are you trying to find more people? How do we go about that process if you want to join the Citizens Police Academy?
If you decide you want to join, you go to the talgov.com website. There is a Citizens Police Academy link there. You click on it, there will be an application. Depending on which academy we're trying to fill, depends on the number of people I have. Seems like in the fall, we get a lot of people who want to come through. And then, you know, the January, February academy, we don't have quite as many because it's right after the holidays. But we do go through the application. There are some requirements. You have to be 21 years of age, no felony arrest. So we do a little bit of a background once they apply, and then we send out notification that they are accepted. To me, it is one of the areas within TPD that people are there because they want to be, and it's really a lot of fun interacting with these people. They have a lot of fun. They get to see what we do. Most of your average citizens don't understand what we do on a day-to-day basis, so they're exposed to this 9 weeks, and then they come away a little more educated and a little more enlightened.
Okay, so it's kind of the insider's view of what police officers are doing, and almost more of the way we think. Would that be fair to say, Dave, that maybe we are getting that?
Definitely say. I mean, there's a saying out there that if you're calling the police department, you're probably not having a good day. And this is an opportunity to see the positive aspects of policing and get to meet the officers one-on-one and have that interaction. And one of the grand finales of the police academy, part of it is doing the ride-along. And that was definitely an eye-opening experience to see what they're thinking as we go through the night.
So as part of their class, the Citizens Police Academy class, they are going to go on a ride along with a real police officer, meaning they're going to ride in a police car? How's that work?
Yes, they will. They're, like I said, 9 weeks, and so they'll have everything from taser to traffic. They will do the TAC demo. They'll have a use of force block with Sergeant James Fairfield, but they will ride along with a police officer in the field for 10 hours, usually on a Friday or Saturday night. And they get to see the actual, go with the police officer to whatever call that officer gets that night. It could be the shooting, it could be something as mundane as, you know, my tag was stolen off my car. Yeah, but they do get to see 10 hours of real life police work in a patrol car.
Excellent, excellent. And is there an end to this class? I mean, does the last day just, okay, thank you, or is there, I've heard there's a graduation somewhere.
We do get a graduation. TPD does a wonderful job. They give us a certificate for completing the course. The Alumni Association bring in a cake, and all our families invited, and we actually get to meet the command staff again, like we did on the first night. And they come in and celebrate with us, and celebrate with a little bit of refreshments, and again, that one-on-one interaction to meet them and talk to them and see what their job's like as a command staff. So it's really nice.
Excellent. Well, you can never beat cake, first of all.
No.
Cake is always a good thing. So, and again, Tracy, so that we're going to wrap up the segment, but I want to make sure that we know where we can go to get online if we wanted to sign up for this. Can we send it? Does it have to just be online, or is there somewhere else we can do it?
No, there is a paper application you can fill out at the police department if you would like, but if you'd like to do it online, it's at talgov.com. Go to the police link, and about halfway down the page is a Citizens Police Academy link. You click on it, and it will bring up the application. You fill it out electronically. It's sent to the webmaster, who then forwards it to me.
Okay. And so when you graduate from the Citizens Police Academy, where do you go to next, Dave?
Go to the Tallahassee Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association.
Excellent. And in the next segment, we're going to talk about that. I'd like to say thank you to you, Officer Clark, for taking some time out and coming into us today. Dave, you're going to stay with us for the next segment. And we'll be right back on City Law, City Justice.
It's a career of courage.
It's a career of strength.
It's a career of honor.
It's a career of integrity.
Career of pride.
It's a career of commitment.
Character.
Honor.
Courage.
The Florida Department of Corrections. It's a career of courage.
I had some domestic problems. I felt that I was losing everything that I worked for. One night I come home and shot a hole through the garage door. And then I end up in here. I had a nice house, good job. Now I live out of a 1-by-1 tin box. I figured, okay, I did make a mistake. Maybe I'll get probation, but I wasn't going to get this. this is your worst nightmare.
Hi, welcome back to City Law, City Justice. Today we're talking about the Citizens Police Academy and the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. Joining me now is Jill Sandler, and Dave Banta is back again. Thanks for being here, Jill. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And you're on the board of directors for the Alumni Association, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you tell our viewers why we would need an Alumni Association and even a board of directors for that Alumni Association?
The Alumni Association started because people who attended the Citizens Police Academy wanted to continue with their relationship with the police department. In addition, we raise money to help support police department activities, and we'll be getting into more of that later. But for me, I wanted to continue with some of the fun things that we did during the Citizens Police Academy. The training opportunities, we do some other things in terms of helping with the police ball and so forth, and raising money. We also help with the police department with some of their training activities by acting as, in different scenarios, as victims or crowd control.
Role player type positions.
Role player type things, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm on the TAC team, and I've actually been in those situations, and you guys are so helpful because without the people, you're shooting at nothing or helping nothing.
Right, and I've been bloodied. I've been on the floor. I've been
really
shot
bloodied.
at. Not really.
Bloodied.
Not really.
Okay, and not really shot at.
Not really shot at.
Okay.
But I've played many roles in these scenarios, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And Dave, if you wanted to get into the Alumni Association, is there a process separate from the Citizens Police Academy in order to do that?
We'll, as a representative, we'll attend the graduation for every Citizens Police Academy class, and we'll invite every single person to join us and explain our role and why we're here, and tell them all the fun stuff we get to do and continue with, as well as explain the benefits to the police department that we serve. How to continue, and it's real cheap. It's only $20 a year. It's just a drop in the bucket, and you still get to do all the fun stuff like Jill said, and it's always a lot of fun.
Excellent. And so how many members do we have? Are we talking about 10 members, or are we talking about hundreds of members? Are they active? Are there inactive ones?
We've had anywhere from 25 up to 50 members at a time. The board of directors has about 15 people who meet monthly and take care of business.
Right.
But as far as the training opportunities and the continuing with ride-alongs and that kind of thing, it's open to our general membership, and that could be as many people who graduated from CPA as want to become members and remain members. Right now we have about 40 people who are in the general membership, and various levels of activity.
Okay, and one of the benefits, or some of the benefits, I guess I would ask Dave, are what when you get onto the Alumni Association? Why do I want to come and join you guys?
I think, like Jill said, being a role player in these situations, we'll do training such as dignitary protection. And you get to play various roles. Sometimes you're the dignitary themselves. Sometimes you're the front guy on the line playing, you know, like you're the Secret Service guy and looking for weapons. We get to go out to the academy and use what I call the big video game, and actually get put in situations that are, of course, fictitious, but actually get to play the role of a police officer and see how difficult it is to handle a situation, and it's dynamic. So it's a lot of fun. You get to learn a lot, and you get to continue the relationships that we have with TPD on a very positive note, and it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, and those relationships are what makes the Alumni Association so great. I think that we understand at the police department how invaluable it is to have you guys, and we thank you for that service, obviously. But still, again, I want to know what else we can do in the Alumni Association. What are some of the other fun things we get to do? Or the other things responsibilities maybe that you're going to have once you sign on board? Is there anything else that I'm missing?
You can have no responsibilities and just attend the fun things, or you can get involved with planning the ball, and in your next segment you're going to be
talking about doing that.
Hear a bit more about what's involved with that. and some of the other fundraising kinds of things that we can do.
Okay. I guess the next question then would be for the membership ways to sign up. Is that just through you? Is there somewhere online? Is it paper? How does that work?
We have a website that they can go to. It's tcpAAA.org. They can go sign up. They can download the form to become a member of the association. And they can also contact Tracy Clark at TPD, and she has the forms as well, and sign up either way and come to our meetings. We have meetings probably about once a quarter or so, and we send out email notices when we have trainings. Of course, that's on the availability of TPD. We all know that y'all have a full-time job as well as helping us out, so got to coordinate that a little bit. But matter of fact, our next training should be coming up probably in the month of September, so we encourage anybody who's been through to sign back up if they're not an active member right now.
And I urge anybody who's interested in the police department or just in having fun and learning more about how the city operates to go through the Citizens Police Academy training, which is what they have to do before they become members of the Alumni Association.
Right. And you mentioned in just a few minutes ago about how you get to continue to do with the ride-alongs. Is that
You can.
correct? You can keep doing those. Have you done any?
I have not. I did not do any after my first one.
First one.
I intend to, though. That was a lot of fun. I was so impressed with the police. The Citizens Police Academy, the ride-along, just impressed me immensely with the fitness and the training and the competency of the police department.
Of the police department.
Yeah, I've done like 5. I'm very fortunate to have a neighbor who's TPD, and I can call him up and actually come out and ride. And it's always a different, that's the one thing that I admire about a police officer. No night is the same. It's always something different every night, or day shift, whatever shift you happen to be on. But it's amazing what they go through, from, like you said, the stub toes call to shots fired, someone's been hit. It runs the gamut of anything can happen at any given time. And so there's a lot of appreciation on our part back to TPD of what they go through. And
is there any ride-along story maybe that sticks out in your head that you can remember of, something that I was doing this and then I realized something else is going on?
Oh, I remember, well, I was amazed with how much the police officers are social workers. A lot of what they do are negotiating with people. We took care of neighborhood arguments, fender benders and things like that. We also recovered a stolen car. That was exciting. And they respond to alarms and that kind of thing.
There was a call for a drunk person with a gun, and I told the officer I was riding with, I was like, I'll stay right here in the car. You have a vest and a gun, right. I'll stay right here.
Of course, the alarm thing, there was nobody there, which is what happens with most alarm things. But
well, I think it would be very interesting to people to realize how much an officer does draw their gun at times but does not use it. I think that's something that might offer you insight on these ride-alongs. And I think that the information that you're gathering just from riding along with us kind of shows what an invaluable tool the Academy is and the Alumni Association is.
Yeah. I felt safe and secure at all times. I should point that out.
I would say that also goes back to the class that Sergeant Fairfield does on use of force. That was very eye-opening, probably one of the biggest eye-opening aspects of all the Academy, of what force you can use and when you can use it.
Yeah, there are rules that we have to work with inside of as police officers that many people don't realize. So I appreciate your time. We've come to the end of our segment. I apologize for having to cut us short. Thank you for being here. Dave, you're going to continue to stay on with us, but Jill, we're going to say goodbye to you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
No problem. And we'll be right back on City Law, City Justice.
Florida's commercial fishermen make certain that Florida's seafood is sustainable. By adhering to federal and state rules, they also protect other marine life. TEDs, or turtle excluder devices, for instance, used in shrimp boat nets, prevent the incidental harvest of marine turtles and large marine animals. Florida's commercial fishermen, stewards of the environment.
When my dad taught me to run our boat, he always said, slow down a little and stay alert. A few weeks ago, Dad went fishing without me, and it turned out to be his last trip. I guess he wasn't paying attention, because he hit something he should have been able to see. Dad was my best friend. I sure am gonna miss him.
Hi, welcome back to City Law, City Justice. Today we're talking about the Citizens Police Academy and the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. Joining me now is Christine Lamont, another member of the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, and we still have Dave Pienta with us. Christine, can you tell me a little bit about the fundraising that goes on with the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association?
Well, our primary fundraiser is a ball that we put on each year. It's an opportunity for the police officers and their families and members of the community to come together in an evening of dinner and dancing. We have community support from that. We have a number of sponsors who come in, are quite generous with their support, and that's nice. We're always looking for more. But what that allows us to do is fund a number of the activities or the programs that are submitted to us each year. It also, at the ball, we do recognize the Officer of the Year. And that's always something nice because it's good that we recognize the work that they do on a year-round basis for us.
Yeah, and that is an actual very sought-out award for an officer to get. It is something that's very, very nice for them. It's nice recognition. It lets them know that, yeah, we actually are making a difference. And
it's also very nice. I've had the opportunity to serve on the selection committee when the nominations come in, and I think it's really you just recognize what a wonderful group of officers we have in the community when you look at the work they do not only on the street but with members of the public, their activities outside the department. We really have a lot to be proud of in the force.
Excellent. And Dave, do you a general number of people who attend this ball?
Oh, the ball?
Yeah.
Usually a couple hundred.
Yeah.
We get a right around anywhere 160 to 200 people. Between officers or families and, like Christine said, members of the community. And we encourage everybody that's a member of the community to come out. It's not just for the Alumni Association. Anybody can buy tickets, come out. The food is excellent. The music is awesome. A lot of fun. And like I said, how often do you get to go dancing to live music, you know, that's not a DJ. It's actually a live band. It's a lot of fun.
I know my wife looks forward to it every year, and we try to attend every year. It is a black tie optional, I remember in the past. Is it still going that way?
It's still dressy, so people can be as formal as they want, but it starts with cocktail attire on up. But yes, it's really nice because it's an opportunity to get out dressed up with a nice meal and then just enjoy.
It is the police department's one night out of the year where everybody can go out and kind of relax and kick back. So we really do appreciate you putting that on for us. That's a huge relief almost for some of us where we get to have that time. So some of the money that comes in through the fundraising events, where does that go then? Or is that, I mean, your board members aren't paid or anything, so obviously the money has to go somewhere. So where does it go to?
Right, we are a 501c3 organization. What they do, officers or the chief or people will come to us with ideas for programs, things we've supported in the past. The crisis bus that was recently renovated, we put money towards that.
And you're talking about the TAC team's crisis negotiation vehicle, which is an old bus that they redid. I actually worked on that, and we could not have done that without you. So we appreciate the help for that.
Well, that's good. That was we helped with that. We've contributed to the Police Unity Tour when the officers go up to Washington, D.C. You did have an officer who went up to the International Law Enforcement Olympics in New York City, and we helped fund that. She did quite well there. And let's see, we've also, there's a TAC student leadership program that just started. I think there have been a couple iterations of that program, so we're supporting that. The gun buyback, which is coming up, we've supported that in the past. Your motorcycle unit officers, they went up to a motorcycle skills seminar in South Carolina. We help support that. So there are things that a lot of times officers are using their own money for some of this extra training or things like that, but we try and help where we can because these are things that not only benefit the officers, they benefit the community because we are increasing interactions between the police department and the public or increasing the skill levels of the officers.
Right, and so you mentioned the TAC students in there, and people may not be familiar with that program, and that's something that benefits both the police department and the community. Can you expound on that just a little bit and tell us a little bit more about that program?
I have to remember Officer Jeter's presentation on this.
It is.
But it's designed for high school students, but it sends them through, it's teaching them how to think. So it's not really saying, here kids, let's go be in law enforcement, but it's giving them leadership skills and organizational skills that they can carry into their lives so they really can be contributing members of the community. And some of them may choose law enforcement as a career, but that's not so much the target of it, is to make them, give them confidence and ability to interact in the community.
Right, and I think that I've been part of that a couple times, and I think that a lot of that has to do with not how to become a cop, because a lot of people think it's like a cadet program of how to become a police officer. It's more of the organizational skills, like you talked about, the leadership skills, where I'm going to rise to the top and I'm going to take pride in what I'm doing, and that's what the program is geared towards. And again, that program wouldn't be successful without the assistance of the Alumni Association. So. Again, we say thank you. We say thank you to you guys all the time, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it's a really worthwhile thing, and we get we'll get number of ideas from officers that are presented, and we try and support as much as we can so that it's not just what people think of as a police car. Law enforcement is more than the police car and the public safety. There's all kinds of ways they contribute to making it a safe community.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Dave, any other things you can think of that she did? She did a great job, obviously.
No, Christine's on. That's the reason she's our chairperson of the ball. She knows everything about it, and she does a great job getting us ideas for fundraising and leading us for supporting everything we can with TPD. We always look forward to what new programs we're going to get every year, and so we can increase that interaction with the community for TPD and show everybody that cops aren't bad people. They don't respond just when bad things happen, and there's a lot of positive things that people can see when they come and see behind the scenes with TPD.
Yeah, the going through Citizens Police Academy was really, it's an experience I recommend to everyone, because so many of us go about our daily lives with no idea of what's happening around the city, just in little ways. And it's like, again, I think you mentioned it, Sergeant Fairfield, the levels of the levels of force that are used. That itself, it gets you away from the CSI stuff in the forensics class that night. You're not looking at just how CSI works or how things work on TV. You're seeing what actually happens, and that's a good education for everyone.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our segment. You are a wealth of information, both of you. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate your time and all that you've given us. And that brings us to the last segment of our show, which, if you remember last show, that we asked you to send in some questions that you had to the police department. Two of those questions I'm going to answer now. The first one is that there are police cars in my neighborhood and I don't understand why they're here. There's 4 or 5 police cars here. Someone won't let me in, someone won't let me out, things of that nature. I get these questions all the time. And the easy answer is this, is that police officers work outside in the community, and at times they may need to ask for another police officer to come help them. It could be anything. It could be someone is running away from them and they're trying to get into the area to catch the person before they get out of the area. It could be as a simple matter of a natural death has occurred and other officers have come into the area to help work with that natural death. There's a myriad of different things that happen. If you have any questions pertaining to a specific incident, though, please call the police department at 891-4200, and we would be more than happy to help you. The second question that I received is about police officers in a parking lot, an empty parking lot, just sitting around. They'll see 5 or 6 police cars in a parking lot with nobody in the parking lot. Why are they there is the question that I get. And the answer to that is pretty simple as well. The police, again, work out in the community in the different areas, and when there are 5 or 6 officers working in an area, they then need to come in at the end of their shift and turn in their paperwork or maybe meet with their supervisor about what's going on. So what those officers are doing in the empty parking lot of Publix is having a squad meeting. I want to thank all of our viewers for watching us today, and to remind you, if you have any questions or topics you would like to see on an upcoming show, please email Tallahassee Police Department at tpdpublicinfo@talgov.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on City Law, City Justice.
Bye.